Okay, so you guys remember when I made my first Five Nights at Freddy's tier listing video where it was basically me ranking Five Nights at Freddy games. Now, we're ranking Roblox games. However, there is four that I have not played yet, or I just cannot find. This one, and this one. These four I have not played, but the rest I have. Okay? So, without further ado, we're going to begin with the first one we have here, which is FNAF Co-op, which is going to be going into... It's going to be hard to decide. It's going to be between more an A and S. This was probably one of my first Five Nights at Freddy games I've played on the platform on Roblox, but that's not the reason why it's going up here. The reason why it's going up here is that it's genuinely just a good game. You know, it's basically what you would expect it to be. Five Nights at Freddy's, but co-op. Now, I'm not really a big fan of multiplayer Five Nights at Freddy's games. I usually find them not as good in comparison to, like, other single-player games like Big Q's or Five Nights at Marcus, but this was actually probably the best Five Nights at Freddy's co-op game, aside from this one right here. But I could definitely replay it and not get bored again. The thing I like about this game so much is that there's different roles, so it's not just two people as the security guard, but someone can actually be a janitor, watch the animatronics, and something they do so well is that they literally really represent the games. You know, you get a badge for every night complete, which is achieving, and they really make the mechanics seem like you're playing the actual game, just in Roblox. So this is probably one of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy multiplayer games. So I'm putting it at A tier, probably the best A tier though. I'm not too sure yet though. No, alright, Five Nights at Roblox. I'll tell you something. Five Nights at Roblox was actually pretty good. I'll tell you something right here. It's probably going to be going into the B tier. The only reason why is once you get to night 4, it is so freaking difficult. I'll tell you this. It is still a good game, but not my favorite out of the series. I would rather play Big Hughes over it, and Five Nights at Freddy's Security, or Security, whatever. I don't really remember what that stands for. But this is still a pretty good game. I found it pretty good. It just got really hard all of a sudden, and you had to pay to too much stuff. But I found this game pretty good. I do see why a lot of people like it. I'm probably going to put it into the B tier. Alright, and pretty ironic, we have our next Five Nights at Freddy, the sequel to Five Nights at Roblox. I'm going to say that it's probably going to be controversial when I say this, but I found the sequel a bit better than the first one. It's still going to be at a B tier, but I found this one a lot better, and not because it was easier. I found it a lot easier. Not because it's that, though. It's just because I find this game such a better reboot for the first one. Like, there's more mechanics to do with stuff, and I find it really creative. I like how you have to look around at certain types of parts of the office in order to find certain animatronics, where you have to look into the vents and see who's there. Can get a little stressful at times, but that's what makes the Five Nights at Freddy's games fun, when it makes it stressful, especially once you're at 5 a.m. I found this game a pretty good game, so I'm going to put it at B tier, probably better than the first one. Okay, so Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's, what do you call it? Custom Night. Five Nights at Freddy's Custom Night. This right here is a really good game. Definitely not better than the second one, but definitely better than the third one right here. This is a really good game. This is probably going into the A tier. Very close to S, just very close. The only thing, just like when you remember, is that it's literally just custom night. So the fact is that it's only 4 animatronics you can mess around with, but that's pretty much it. But the fact is that they do such a well done job with it, and you can pretend to play all of the 5 nights while you're setting it to the right difficulty. Also, they did the Easter egg where they did the 1987 1987 Easter egg too. and I found that pretty cool. I found this a very fun game. I'm probably gonna put this one into the A tier. Alright, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 multiplayer. No, not multiplayer, custom night. This one is going to be an S tier game, and the reason why for this is Five Nights at Freddy's 2 I found pretty good. Just mainly. But the fact is, it's not Five Nights at Freddy's 1 where it's literally just custom night. No. This has all the challenges from the original game, has its own challenge. You get an actual badge for beating 1020 mode, which is incredibly hard, by the way. And you even, they've even added custom difficulties for the nights. So you can literally play through all of the nights, and it kind of feel like they're playing the game. This one's so well done, and I find it deserves an S tier. Like, I feel like it just deserves an S tier. So that's why I'm going to put it right there. You should really go play that game. Like, right now, go play it. It's such a great game. Alright, and now, ironically, we have the third one. This one's probably the worst out of the three. I don't find it as great just because Five Nights at Freddy's 3 wasn't my favorite out of the first four. Probably my least favorite out of the first four, actually. And I didn't find this one too great just because that only one animatronic could kill you, and they didn't do the same thing in the first one. They added different nights. But it's an okay game. But don't really have much to say about it. It's not the greatest game out of these three. Mainly just because I wasn't a big fan of the first one, and that's what kind of ruined it for me. I'm probably going to put it at a C tier, although they still do a pretty good job of reenacting, with the code and stuff, pretending to, not pretend, but make it seem like the real game. Alright, now let's move on to the Nightmare in the Pizzerias. So, these games, whoever the owner is, don't take offense for this. These were not, I didn't find these the greatest games at all. They're not bad games, it's just, say it was compared to these games, right? This game, I don't feel like is better than these games, you know what I mean? Or these games. However, it's still an okay game, but the fact that just what kind of ruined it for me is that there are barely any players that play the game, and I only got into a one lobby that actually had 2 other players. It's a good game, but the fact that there's no players, that kind of ruins it, and I didn't find the mechanics too well. But at the same time, it's still a pretty old game, so I can't really blame it for it. Although it's okay, I guess. So I'm probably gonna put it at a D tier. Remember, no offense to whoever owns the game. Alright, then we have Nightmare in the Pizzeria 2. I found this game actually a pretty big improvement from the other one, I'd say. Just because there's more mechanics, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was one of my favorites out of the 4. It was still kind of as the same tier as Nightmare in the Pizzeria, the first one, except that it's kind of a little bit better, in my opinion. I don't really have too many opinions for it. It's probably going to go into D tier, but it's probably better than the first one. They should make a Five Nights at Freddy's 4 one, if you know what I mean. Alright, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 multiplayer. So this is basically another multiplayer game. You know what I mean? This right here is what you call a good Five Nights at Freddy's game. This is such a outstanding game, I cannot tell you, dude. This game is so freaking good. I love it. The main factor is that it's so well done, and it really makes it feel like you're playing the real game. And the fact that you can play as the animatronics too, which, that's a multiplayer factor. But the thing, that's a multiplayer requirement. The thing is about it, is that it's actually fun to play as the animatronics. No matter what you're playing as, it's fun. And as the Night Guard, you can choose hard or normal difficulty. So you can even pick your difficulty. It's so fun playing as the Night Guard, and even every role is just so fun to play as. I love this game so much. I'm going to put it into the S tier. Okay, this right here, thank God that I grew up playing this game right here, dude. Listen. This game is the best. Not the best out of all of them. But I'll tell you something right here. This game is so freaking good, dude. So freaking good. The reason why I love it so much is that I grew up playing it. Well, that's not the only reason, but the reason why I love it so much is that, like, everything. It's because everything is fun to do. Playing as the animatronics, playing as the night guard, they do such a well done. And it may not be the best, like, aesthetic, you know, well, not aesthetic, but you see how, like, they're kind of blocky. The blockiness, like the block animatronics, is what made this game so good. I don't know why, but I loved the style of this game so freaking much. Definitely going into S tier. I honestly wish this game was still up, but my goodness, it was such a good game. And I think I don't know if it's still up, but I don't remember. But I remember it. It was such a good game, and I remember playing the fourth one. That was my favorite out of the four of these. My goodness, they were such good games. I love them. Okay, this one I don't really fully remember. I think it's just another Five Nights at Freddy's 3 multiplayer, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It would probably go into the B tier. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that one. I think it's just another Five Nights at Freddy's 3 multiplayer, and I don't want to say too much stuff about it because we've already ranked Five Nights at Freddy's 3 multiplayer games, so it's probably going to go into B tier. I don't really remember, though, if it's a Five Nights at Freddy's 3 multiplayer game, though. So if I'm wrong, then go into Never Played, but I think it's a Five Nights at Freddy's 3 multiplayer. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 multiplayer. Okay, so remember how I said that Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was the best game? Well, don't take that for everything. Just because there's a Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game on Roblox doesn't mean it's going to be good, automatically S tier for me. This game I didn't find too good, okay? Just because the fact, like, it's one of the better Five Nights at Freddy's 4 games on Roblox, but not my favorite. Don't really have too much to say about it. It's basically Five Nights at Freddy's 4 multiplayer. You can change it to Halloween, change the difficulty, and I find it pretty good, but I don't find it the better than, like, these games right here. But I still find this game pretty fun every there and there. I'm probably going to put it into the B tier. Okay, now this is probably this is one of the best games on here by default. I mean, come on. If you have not played this game, I feel bad for you. Because it's closed. It's closed. You can't play it no more. But I played it when I remember everything from the game, and oh my gosh, it is such a great game. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, but literally put into Roblox, and they do such a well done job. The game never really got finished, but there's still a bunch of stuff to do. I think I even recorded a game on this channel, like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 on this channel once. And I tell you, it was so fun. I never got bored through any of the nights. They do such a well done job on the style. I keep right clicking my mouse, and it's literally just a good game, which is why I'm putting this at the top S tier, but not the best game in the series. But I'll tell you why in a minute. Well, soon. Okay, so Five Nights at FNAF Mashup multiplayer I've actually never played before. I know I said that those were all the games I haven't played before, but that was the only one I don't remember. All these games I played though. So URN. So this is basically stands for Ultimate Random Night. This game is good. Pretty good. I actually find it really good. It's basically Ultimate Custom Night, except you can't really choose, well, it's random. The only complaint I have with it is that I feel like it should give you a better description on what to do when you're the night guard, because once you're the night guard, you don't really know what the other people are, and once you see something that you haven't played as, or never got the description of, you don't really know what to do, and then you kind of just die. Maybe they changed that, but they'll change that, or maybe I just didn't see that, but that's how I experienced it. But it was a pretty good game nevertheless. It's probably going to go into the A tier right there. UCN 3. UCNE. There was okay, I guess. Why is there 2 pluses? I did not put that there. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest game, honestly. Basically, what it is just Ultimate Custom Night roleplay. Kind of basically what it is. It was okay, you know what I mean? Probably better than this game, but not as good as this game right here. It's okay. It's basically Ultimate Custom Night multiplayer. You can play as the animatronics and stuff. It's an okay game, but I wouldn't play it all the time. I'd rather play all these games other than, you know, this, but it's still an okay game nevertheless. So I'm going to put that as C tier. Five Nights at Your Friends. Okay, this game, pretty good. Pretty good game, I will say myself. It's basically Five Nights at Freddy's, but you can replace the animatronics with your friends, which I found pretty cool. And also, why is there these pluses? Like, these freaking plus signs appearing. Anyways, this game is pretty good in my opinion. I'd say it's probably better than these 2 games. Yeah, it's probably gonna go into B tier. It's basically just Five Nights at Freddy's, but you can play animatronics with your friends, but I still find it a pretty well done game. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's multiplayer. So, the game is basically the title. That's basically it. Okay? That's literally it. It's just the title. It's still a good Five Nights at Freddy's multiplayer game, but I don't find it as good as, like, other, you know. And remember, multiplayer games are my favorite when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's. It's okay. Probably better than this one right here, but I'd rather play Five Nights at Freddy's 4 multiplayer over it. Alright. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but Security Breach. I think it is another multiplayer game. It's either multiplayer or not multiplayer, but I think it's multiplayer. So basically, it's literally the title. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but it's Security Breach characters and Security Breach stuff. I honestly didn't really like this game at all as much. It's probably going to go into D tier just because it's Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and I really don't feel like the Security Breach characters make a great fit for the game at all. I kind of feel like it kills it for me, and I didn't really like the game too much. No offense to the owner, but it's just, like, you know, my opinion, you know what I mean? Alright. Let's see. Let's see here. This is going into the automatic S tier. There is no way someone can say that this game is not good. I could understand why they don't think the game's not good, but my goodness, this game, everything about it is good. The characters, the creativity, everything about it. It's so creative. I love how it's free roam where you actually have to leave your office for generators. Oh my gosh, this game is so fun and so achieving every time you beat a night. I love how the power can turn out on you. The only thing I hate about this game is Golden Freddy, but still, this game is amazing. Like, actually amazing, dude. I love this game so freaking much. Like, my goodness, this game is so freaking well done. I literally love it. I love it with all my heart. The best Five Nights at Freddy's game on Roblox, in my opinion. Just so good. So good. I hit plus again. That's probably my pause button, actually. Five Nights at Marcus 2. So, this game was actually really good, in my opinion. I found it a pretty amazing game. It's probably going to go into the A tier. I like the mechanics. I find it pretty creative, where it's not actually you have to survive till 6 a.m. And that's what I like about it. You don't survive the animatronics. It's not just die, yada, yada, yada. You get to night 5, survive last night, boom, down 6 night, you know, casual. No, this game has its own idea, and that's what I really like about it. It's not like Five Nights at Roblox where you just have to survive at 6 a.m. and with their own mechanics with the doors. No. You have to use shocking to shock the animatronics, except if it's big, you gotta shock the office. And sometimes you have to shock inside the vents, you gotta look at the cameras. And I like how the fact that you don't have to, you cannot survive to 6 a.m. That's not what you have to do. What you have to do is that you have to scan these crates and literally, like, check them to see if they're exact, right? And if they're not, you deny it. If they are, you accept it. And while you have to finish all of those tasks while looking around for the animatronics, it's really good game. It's probably going to go into A tier. Really good game, I would say. Alright, Big Q's. Yikes. So, Big Q's was actually really good. It's probably going to go to the S tier. The reason why for this is because it's another own Five Nights at Freddy's game, and it is not another game where you survive till 6 a.m., at least I think. It's not another game where you survive until 6 a.m. It's a game where you have to write up documents while these dudes running around, animatronics running around. It's pretty stressful, and you have to listen behind you. You have to check behind you to see if there's an animatronic there. You also have to have papers printed for an animatronic. You have to turn your lights off when someone's coming in the hallway. It's a pretty scary game, and probably one of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy games on Roblox. So it's actually gonna put it right there. It's so good. And then Five Nights at Stinky's 2. Okay. So, Five Nights at Stinky's 2 was... Okay, this is probably the worst game on here. Look, it's an okay game, but compared to all of these ones, it's the worst out of all these. It's not a bad game, okay? It's funny. It's mainly more of a mean game that I kind of don't like about it. But it's still a fun game, but, like, come on, it's not my favorite, okay? Like, all these are better than this, in my opinion. Probably going into the F tier. It's just, like, it's an okay game, but I just don't find it, like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I will say, though, Five Nights at Stinky's 3, their third game, is really good. Like, their third games probably would go into the A. But their first and second, probably to F tier. They're not bad games, but their third one would go into the A tier. Or maybe even S tier, I don't know. Alright, so that's all of them. But there is one game that's not on here, which I don't know why. But there is, I want to include. I want to include it. Okay? I want to include it. Because this game deserves so much recognition. It's not better than Forgotten Memories. But, however, this game is better than all the other S tiers. That's all I gotta say. And that game is Submarine Simulator. I know, that does not sound like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, but play it, dude. And look at the description. If you see try to remove him, it's like, dude, it's so freaking good. I love it. It's basically... It tries to pretend it's an actual submarine simulator with its badges and stuff. It tries to camouflage itself. But once you actually start playing it, the more you play it, the more you realize that it is not a simulator. It is an actual FNAF game. And I found it really creative. Once again, you don't survive until 6 a.m. You gotta do tasks. I love this game so much. The character, the animatronic, it's kind of where Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where you have to go up against one animatronic. Or not one animatronic, it's more of a sea monster, and I love the plot and story of it so much that I actually beat the whole game, including 520 mode, or no, 320 mode. I loved the game so freaking much, dude. I loved it. And that would go in, say if this was it, it would go right here. Right there, okay? Forgotten Memories is a little bit better, but oh my gosh, that game was just so good. Like, I love it so much. Alright. So, that is my tier list, and as you can see, Forgotten Memories is obviously the first in S tier, which means that it is the best Roblox FNAF game, in my opinion, at least, and that's what the award is going to. Oh, I just hit my mic. It's going to that game right there. So, congratulations, Forgotten Memory. You have made yourself the best Roblox Five Nights at Freddy's Game Award. And then coming in second place is Submarine Simulator, even though it's not on the list, I included myself. And third place is Five Nights at Freddy's SR. I hope you enjoyed this tier list video. I enjoyed it too. I had some fun with it. If you guys, I don't know if these are still available, but if you guys want me to try finding these games and then play them and for another ranking video, then let me know. But I just couldn't find these games, and they're just games I haven't played. These right here though, I have played. They're all good, except for this one. But no, listen. This game, just because it's F tier, doesn't mean it sucks. Okay, it's okay. Just doesn't compare to the other ones. But their third one is actually really good, and I'd probably put it in A tier. But that's it. That is my Roblox Five Nights at Freddy's tier list. If you guys want more tier lists, then like, subscribe, turn notifications on, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys want me to do a Bee Swarm video, which I do plan on doing next, then you let me know, and I will do your command. But anyways, that is it for this video. Peace out, everybody. And it's just one hit of a button, and we do stop recording.